What's up, guys? A few minutes ago, no, like 15 minutes ago, I just found out my mom, who I haven't been speaking with for a long time, just told me that my father passed. And it sounds kind of weird, you're like, so what the hell are you doing this, making a video here for and all this? And I don't even know how I'm gonna be perceived right now, right? And so of going to being with your family and all this other stuff. Well, the only people who know actually now are just me, my mom, and my sister, my younger sister. And it's the whole thing's a mess. The whole thing's a mess, and I don't even know how to process this. Like, remember how I told you that I had like family issues of my own and stuff like that, since recurring through childhood and stuff, and then like uh overthinking these thoughts in the future of like these things. And in some ways I feel like I've already anticipated that this was going to happen, and that's why when I heard the news, and I've already played that thing in my head so many times, right, when it would that. And I even told this to my therapist at one point, where it's like, oh, by expecting the worst, almost you're sort of like cushioning your fall, or almost in terms of you don't get shocked, right? Now, I'm not saying, I don't even know how I'm feeling. Like, I'm not saying that I'm shocked or whatever. Uh, 'Cause I think I just feel, I don't know, numb or something, where it's just like it hurt me, right? It's just like, whoa, right? Like it actually happened, right? But I've had bad thoughts where like I knew that this was going to happen, the way things were going and stuff. From the details that I've gathered, and like from what I know, that it seems like that he's passed away from like liver poisoning or something from alcohol. But remember, like I said, I told you that I've had many experiences that uh have sort of conditioned me for this experience, where even my father too, like his brother died, and he left the mom, not his wife, and their three daughters, very young daughters, yeah, left the world um from liver poisoning because of he was such a big alcoholic. And even me, like now, like even after that, hearing that, it wasn't enough to stop him. The mom got into a car accident because of some sort of his alcoholic thing. And because of this, growing up all this time now up to now, our relationship isn't even good because of that, because of his alcohol, and like what we had to do to stop and prevent him from doing, like growing up as a kid trying to prevent the father from doing these things. And yeah, it sounds very weird, right? It's because I'm trying to sum up this, my entire about to be 23 next in 5 days. 23 years of my life in the span of like 5 minutes. And this video is not, I'm not trying to persuade you in any way or whatever. I'm just trying to tell it like it is, right? The moment I clicked on the record button, I opened it to a different window so that I don't see myself not caring how I look and just saying what I feel. And I keep thinking about these things, and I didn't even know what to say. I messaged my group of friends, and he was just like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, what the hell, are you being serious?" And I told him, "Yeah." And then he told me, "Oh, why don't you with your family and this and all this other stuff?" And well, I have. And right now I feel like I need to get this out before, while this is a fresh thought, right? I still don't know how this feels. Like this feels very weird, and I'm not looking for any attention, but I just wanted to keep myself as a record, right? So that in, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how I will look back on this, and it's kind of weird, it's like, um now I have to remember this date as the date that my father passed, or at least where I got the news. And we weren't close. So, and I've always told myself this, I've told my therapist this, and other people who've asked, it's like, oh, because you can use that, it sounds messed up, but in many ways you don't get close to people, or you can only do so much for a person, right? Otherwise, if they don't if you can only do so much for a person, if they don't want to listen, or you can only, and they don't listen, then it gets to a point where you can feel bad for them and all this other stuff, but you can't control them, and if they want to make these choices, then let them, and this is what happens. And that is what I want to get out, and I feel like I've mentioned this many times in the comments and stuff about uh like there are people that you won't even know about because this thing happens all the time, and my case is not as like special. Or I mean, in some eyes, and I feel like a majority of people it is, and there's a lot of other things that I did not tell you and stuff like that, right? In terms of family issues and stuff, but like cases like this, I don't really see that like online and stuff for good reasons, like legal issues and all this other stuff and whatnot. But I don't even know if this video will go out. But in the case that like the only reason why I would want this to go out is to let those other people know that you guys are not alone. And yeah, if you need anything or anything like that, just uh know that like I'm here and that I understand that your case. I feel like they say of the hardships and stuff, right? It connects people in certain ways in terms of the way they think. It's so true. And let me just wrap this up. I still don't know how I'm feeling right now. I'm not really shocked by it. Just came back from work, long day. I had a headache, age 8. And it was kind of funny too, because I was eating with I brought food and I ate with my younger sister. And she was telling me something, some sort of family thing that was happening. My father was like missing or something like that, past 2 days or something like that. But I didn't want to get involved with that thing. Yes, details. I'll spare you the details, but whatever. It's not close. We're not good, and whatever. And my mom was like figuring it out. I was eating, but then my mom didn't come back home in time, and whatever. And just by hearing that, I was already thinking about those thoughts about, oh, did he pass or something like that? And I was goofing off with my sister, and I told her that, don't worry, like there might be a time where, like she was telling me about her day or her crappy day at school, and I told her, like, after talking to her about it and stuff, that um there are things that haven't happened yet that I just know will happen that will put those problems at school like over here. It's just so trivial compared to these things, but even with those things, don't where just your life seems like it's just gonna turn upside down. Don't feel that it is, right? Just because I told her, like as long as you're still alive, there's a chance, right? Don't feel like another person's life is dependent on your own survival. It's not. And I feel like in many ways, or like to my friend, there's something that it seems like I'm like almost like a psychopath or whatever it is, or a socio. I don't know. I know they're not interchangeable. It's like the one where it's just like not feeling emotions and just want to make it seem like, make it clear that that is not the case. And I actually do have emotions, but I've just gotten to a point where I've had enough of those hardships and stuff, and I've already thought about these things so much, and that now I am not. Sometimes, like in terms of being surprised, there's no such thing as surprise for me. Like this feeling of being surprised or whatever, and it's almost like it's leveled off here. And yeah, whether that's good or bad, it's up to the eyes. I feel like for me, I don't know if that's good or bad, but once again, this is a vlog, recording of right after I hear the news. Probably gonna view this many times throughout my life afterwards and see how I'm gonna react to this. I hope I don't get to a point where it's just like I'm mentally ill or not. It's like one of my biggest fears, like me actually going insane and not being aware of it. But yeah, it sounds very weird, but this is a very weird video. It's just like a vlog, I guess, and 9 minutes, but I had to tell somebody, and I guess now I'm just gonna go back and stay with family like my friend says. And once again, right, if it looks like if I'm coming off as indifferent or anything like that, or please don't insult me, well, you can insult me and then I will just whatever respond back in whatever kind of way. But if I don't feel like I'm feeling any emotions, please don't twist my words or make it seem like I am crazy or something like that. It's just I'm not. And yeah, when the time comes, either I'll post this up soon, or when gets to a point where I can relate more, or other people need my help or something like that, or get to a point where I can finally say, oh, other people need to know about this, then this is when, and that will be when the video will be posted. And yeah, thank you for listening. This is also in one way, a remedial tactic. It's like me vlogging. It's just some form of it's a journal, right? Essentially, without writing, both sound and video and visual. And yeah, thank you and peace.